London by William Blake. I wander through each chartered street, near where the chartered Thames does flow, and mark in every face I meet marks of weakness, marks of woe. In every cry of every man, in every infant's cry of fear, in every voice, in every ban, the mind-forged manacles I hear. How the chimney sweepers cry every blackening church appalls, and the hapless soldier's sigh runs in blood down palace walls. But most through midnight streets I hear how the youthful harlot's curse blasts the newborn infant's tear, and blights with plagues the marriage hearse. In this poem then, Blake takes us through 18th century London during the Industrial Revolution, a time of extreme wealth and poverty. Poor people are trapped, child labour, prostitution, unwanted pregnancy and disease are everywhere. With the imagery that Blake uses come vivid sounds: cry, voice, sigh, curse. The people are unseen, ignored by rulers and the church, and we just hear their sounds of woe. The repetition of "in every" highlights the extent of the misery. Nobody poor escapes the mind-forged manacles. Manacles are like handcuffs. London is a prison for the poor people. And also the manacles are metaphorical. They are mind-forged. So who created them? Was it society's institutions and traditions, the leaders and the church? Or did the poor people create their own manacles? Is this a poem imploring the people to rise up? The metaphorical effects of the poor people's pain are seen in stanza 3. Chimney sweeps were often orphans. Since the church didn't help them, it was literally blackening them, since the sweeps became covered in soot. But the sweepers' cries are also metaphorically blackening the churches. The church becomes less moral as it ignored their pain. In the final stanza, the prostitute's curses could mean that she swears at a newborn baby for crying and almost explodes with her anger, blasts. The young harlot's curse could also mean the tragic aspect of her awful life through prostitution. Sibilance is used in stanza 3, the hapless soldier's sigh. Sibilance can create a sinister effect, like a snake hissing, or the effect of hushed secrecy. Both may be relevant here. The idea of blood running down walls is certainly sinister, yet the soldier's pain is ignored by society and the monarchy who have sent them to war. The plosives in the last stanza reflect both the harlot's and Blake's anger. Blights with plagues the marriage hearse. The hard, aggressive consonants convey their anger. A marriage hearse is almost an oxymoron. We associate marriage with union and joy, but hearses with death and misery. The prostitute blights with plagues the idea of marriage. The plagues may be a metaphor and refer to her anger at marriage in a world where she feels such pain. Or it could literally be more literal. Prostitutes often caught venereal disease, which could then spread into clients' marriages. Love became a disease-ridden route towards death in Blake's poem. The rhyme is iambic tetrameter, and this sounds natural, like a heartbeat. Blake sometimes breaks the rhythm and misses a syllable, for example in line 4, and this sounds unnatural, like an unfinished heartbeat, which adds to the reader's sense of discomfort. It could also mimic the sound of his footsteps as he walks through the streets of London, seeing all of this tragedy. The rhyme scheme, AB, AB, rhymes throughout, and the structure is tightly controlled. So maybe Blake is using the structure to show how everything is controlled in London, and the people are controlled and not free. And so Blake writes about not individuals, but representative of people like them. As a romantic, Blake believed in the power and beauty of nature and was angry at society where institutions and individuals like the king believed that they were more powerful than the natural world.